Hello and welcome to today's video on Cloud Computing Tutorial. In this video, you're going to learn the characteristics of cloud computing, software as a service, also known as SaaS, cloud platforms, and private clouds. So let's go ahead and begin. Now, if you work as a project manager, it's likely that you have some aspect of your project that is technology related and cloud computing is affecting you. Thus, the reason for this video, to give you a high-level view, or tutorial if you will, of cloud computing. This is a very high-level view. We're not going to be going down into too much detail. So first, let's talk about the characteristics of cloud computing. As you see here, there are three main ones: software as a service, cloud platforms, and private clouds. Software as a service. Cloud applications are commonly called software as a service, or SaaS. This means that applications are run at data centers that are owned by someone else besides your organization, but they are accessible across the internet. These other organizations are called service providers. For cloud platforms, these are platforms that include technology for running applications, storing data, and more, which are again run at data centers that are owned by someone else besides your organization, but are accessible across the internet. Private clouds. The purpose of this category is to take cloud platform technologies and run them on on-premises data centers. This means the platforms are brought in-house. Now, another characteristic that you can have is a mix between them called a hybrid cloud. The purpose behind that category is to combine cloud computing platforms with private cloud technology to create a hybrid of both. So let's discuss each of these categories a little further in detail. Software as a service. SaaS applications are generally shared. The technical term you will hear with this is multi-tenant. This means that a single application is being shared by multiple customers within multiple organizations. Each of these customers have their own data, and it is the responsibility of the application to keep that data separate and secure. Not everyone uses this approach, but the notion of multi-tenancy is central to the modern form of SaaS. Examples of SaaS are Google Gmail or Drive, Dropbox, Salesforce CRM, SAP, and Microsoft and Oracle. And as you can see on this slide, I've broken down software as a service into both benefits and risks. For benefits, faster deployment. You can deploy the application faster because there is no local install required, unlike an on-premises application where you need to install and configure and get the application running. For software as a service, you can just point your browser at the application and start using it. Usage-based pricing. This lets you pay for only what you use. An example is to pay per use per month, per user per month. This allows you to not overpay and can also scale to the number of users within your organization. Less financial risk. The upfront cost is smaller and there is often a free trial for these. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it, as opposed to the financial risk of having a software built for you and then figuring out whether you actually use it or not. Reduced need for on-premises resources. These are such as servers and IT staff for technical support. You have the reduced need for this. And easier upgrades. With no on-premises software to update, upgrades are done by the software as a service provider. Now, there's also risks associated with SaaS. It requires trusting the software as a service provider for availability and security. So trusting your SaaS provider is very important and could be a big issue for an organization. But most likely though, the SaaS provider improves security. It can raise legal and regulatory concerns. So with storing data outside of your customer's premises and outside your organization, this also means the storage could be outside of your country, which could be a concern. It can limit customizations. If the customer shares a multi-tenant application, there may be limits to the customization that can be done. But there are ways around this with the customizations when you talk to your service provider. Could be harder to integrate. It's definitely harder than an on-premises application to integrate. And you could have lower performance. So lower performance versus your on-premises applications, that's due to the network hop to access the applications. So most people, however, though, see the benefits of SaaS outweighing the risks. So let's talk about cloud platforms now. Cloud platforms are an essential aspect of cloud computing. They offer more immediate access to more services than traditional hosting providers. Cloud platforms also offer a large variety of services larger than traditional hosting. A real innovation of cloud platforms was the introduction of usage-based pricing, which is paying only for what you use by renting out the time or storage used. This is opposed to a dedicated server that you pay for. Also, the global scale that the cloud platform performs is huge, as their data centers are much larger than a traditional hosting server, and this allows organizations to keep costs low. So just like software as a service, there's benefits and risks of cloud platforms. The benefits, just like software as a service, faster deployment. There's no wait for computing resources. There's no need to wait for a physical server or wait weeks to get it and then configure it. You just need to ask for a virtual machine and have it available, and it's available almost immediately. Usage-based pricing, just like in software as a service, it lets you pay for only what you use. Less financial risk. So there's a lower upfront investment in hardware and software because you're only paying for what you use. The reduced need for on-premises resources, same thing, such as servers and IT staff, there's going to be less. And there's easier upgrades because there's no on-premises software to upgrade. Now there's also risks involved. It requires, once again, trusting a cloud platform provider for their availability and their data security. It can raise legal regulatory concerns with the storage data being outside the customer's premises. It could be harder to integrate with the on-premises software, but cloud computing is pretty mature. It's a pretty mature technology, so this makes it simpler. You can have lower performance than on-premise platforms, and it also can give developers less control than on-premises platforms. Now, private clouds and hybrid clouds. Private clouds bring the traditional public cloud services technology into the organization by providing them on-premises. Private cloud is not a new name for traditional on-premises data centers. The definition sometimes gets confused. Hybrid clouds are public cloud services linked to private clouds. It is the combination of both public and private cloud services. It's not the same thing as a hybrid application. Public and private clouds address different problems and thus should be addressed separately. Public clouds can help you scale, get better resources, and more. Private clouds make your on-premises world better. The public cloud market has been slow to take off due to its part of its complexity. But overall, private clouds can provide real value. For example, fast access to computing resources is a great benefit. Private clouds also give you modern application services, which are only available as part of cloud technology. So, to get the latest versions, all you need to do is adapt the cloud technology into your organization. I hope you liked this video on cloud computing tutorial. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button. And if you're interested in seeing more project management videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I'm uploading them every week. Thank you.